Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. This past Friday was my 50th birthday. I can't believe I'm even hearing myself say that. I don't know how I'm 50. I still feel like I'm 30, but it was a great birthday. My honey and his family had a huge surprise party for me, and I also received amazing cards from dear friends of mine. And you can see probably from the shelf behind me, I've got all these beautiful handmade cards, and they're all absolutely stunning and full of love and kind words. And one of the cards that I received features a really fun card fold, and I knew I had to do this for my next video. So this is the card, and it is from my friend Karen Halverson. And Karen was a customer of mine, and then she joined my Serene Stampers community, and we've become really great friends over the years, and I just love it a bit. And once you untie it, it opens up, a little flap, and then this opens again to the card. And I just loved it, and I thought, wow, what a great card for all different occasions, using all different stamp sets and colors and papers. So I can't wait to share this fun fold with you. So let's get stamping. Before I get started, I do want to thank my friend Karen for sharing the instructions on how she made my birthday card for me. And it's a beautiful, beautiful layout, but such an easy card to make. So this cardstock, it's mint macaron. I've cut it to measure 5.5 by 10. And along the 10-inch side, I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. And slide it over to 8.5. And that's going to create my standard size card base. So I'm just folding those all nice. I've also gone ahead and cut some Whisper White cardstock. These pieces both measure 4 by 5 1/4. These are going to go on the inside panels of the card. I'm going to just show you. They're going to go like that. So if you want, you can just have the one panel on the one side. I'm going to do it like my friend Karen did on my card. This card is actually for my aunt who's celebrating her 70th birthday next week. So I knew I wanted to make this card for her, so I thought, why not share it at the same time? And I'm going to use our beautiful new Gilded Autumn Specialty Designer Series paper. This is from our Gilded Autumn Suite, and I'm using the stamp sets and punches that come with it as well, so we'll get to those. But let me just show you how beautiful this paper is. I love autumn. It is my very favorite of all the seasons. Oh my gosh, that's got copper and gold. I'm looking at this for the first time myself. I just got this in the other day. Cajun Craze. Oh my goodness, it's going to be so hard to choose, but I knew I was going to be using mint macaron because that's one of the colors in this designer series paper. Oh, and I can tell you right now, this could be the piece I'm going to use for my aunt's card. So elegant and gorgeous. Oh, look at with the pumpkins. Just gorgeous. Okay, so I want to use this beautiful pattern for my card. So let's put all this gorgeousness away. Now I'm bringing in some Cajun Craze, and this piece is going to get cut at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Next, I'm cutting another piece of Cajun Craze, and this piece measures 1 3/8 by 5 3/8. I'm going to do the 5 3/8 first. So 1, 2, 3, and 1 3/8. 1, 2, 3. And now it's time to cut into my gorgeous designer series paper. So I'm cutting the first piece to measure 4 by 5 1/4. And then I'm cutting the second piece to measure 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. And I'm making sure that my patterns are going in the same direction. I didn't want my leaves going this way, so I am making sure I'm going in the right direction. And this one is also a 5 1/4. So I'm going to be working with this flap to my right. And the first thing I'm going to do is adhere this piece to the front of the card. So that's just going to go on right like that. And now I'm going to adhere this beautiful paper. Now, something that I would normally do, actually, and this is just me, but I like to stretch out my cardstock, but I just didn't think about it today. So what I would normally do is before I would glue this layer on, I would actually take my rectangle die and cut out the centerpiece, and then I could save that cardstock for another project because that's going to get hidden anyways behind this paper. So that's just a fun way that you can get a lot more mileage out of your cardstocks. This paper is beyond gorgeous, you guys. It's nice to see them in the catalog, but honest to goodness, it just doesn't do it justice. Holy, it's so pretty. Okay, so now we're going to work on the flap. So again, Cajun Craze. I'm just going to take my bone folder and give this a really good crease. So I've gone ahead and I have pre-cut some more pieces out just to save a bit of time for the video. So this piece of mint macaron measures 7 by 3.5, and then I have just scored it in the middle at 3.5, and that's going to make this front flap. And then I have cut, wanted to make sure those fit. I have cut 3 pieces of Cajun Craze. Each one of these squares measures 3 3/8 by 3 3/8. And then 2 pieces of Whisper White cardstock. And these both measure 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. So we are going to be working on this flap. So this is going to open towards the left, because when you put this on, you want your little card to open that way. So I'm just going to take this piece of the Whisper White and I'm going to put that on the middle, and I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday on this portion. So I'm using the Happiest of Birthdays stamp set, and I'm going to stamp It's Your Day, Enjoy It. I'm going to do that first. And I think I'm going to bring in my early espresso instead of black for this one. And normally I stamp before I stick. That's a really good tip. Stamp before you stick, because if you make a mistake, you can flip it over and stamp on the other side. Or if you need to stamp it and make it darker, you can stamp again. But it worked out pretty good. So that's going to be the inside of that card. And then this piece of the Cajun Craze is going to go on the front flap. You may notice my nails are coordinating. That was not planned, and they are a bit glitzy, but that's because it was my birthday this weekend. I had to have something glittery and splashy for my 50th birthday. But I'm noticing now how they're coordinating. Not planned at all. All right, so we've got our little backwards looking note card at the moment. I'm going to do a little bit more decorating. So I want to run this piece through an embossing folder, and guess what? I got my brand new die cut and emboss machine from Stampin' Up! Yesterday, so I'm loving it. Let me show you how it works. So here it is, brand new, just out of the box, and these sides fold down. And I know I'm probably not getting all of this on camera, but it's awesome. I love it. This will be available to everybody next month, which is not far away, but as demonstrators, we were able to pre-order it. And when you purchase our new die cutting and emboss machine, you get all of these pieces with it. So you get your clear plates, and they're numbered, so they've got number 3 on them. You've got your multi-purpose platform, which is numbered 1. Then we have this one, it's got the number 2 on it. This one's for using with your thin dies, and everything's marked on here that shows you what to use with what. And number 4, this one, if you look on the platform, it shows you to use with our 3D embossing folders. So it's really simple, same concept as our last machine, but it's a lot more slick. I will say that. I am really happy with it. So the embossing folders that I have pulled out for this card they're new. They're called Wrapped in Texture Embossing Folders. They're on page 9 of our mini catalog. So these are them right here. I want to use this pattern, which is this one. Hopefully you can see that. Really cool. So you can see here, using with standard embossing folders, you want to use 1 and 3. 3 being the 2 plates, 1 being this platform. So I'm just going to slide that in. My pre-cut Whisper White piece fits in there perfectly. Just want to get it straight. There we go. So I'm going to build my little sandwich. So I've got my plates on top, and I'm just going to crank it through. This is really easy for turning. Oh my goodness, I love it. Come on, you. There you go. That's a really great texture. Okay, so I have put adhesive on this. So I'm just adhering this right onto that front flap. Really nice texture. I'm loving the white with the Cajun Craze and that mint macaron. So part of this Gilded Autumn Suite is this ribbon combo pack, which is basket weave and metallic ribbon. So the ribbon is mint macaron. So that's perfect. It's going to match the card. So I measured the ribbon on Karen's card, and it's about 14-15 inches. So that's roughly what I cut this piece of ribbon at. And now I'm going to take my tear and tape, and I'm just going to add a strip right here on the center flap, just like so. Peel off that backing, and then I'm just going to put this right on top, and then this piece is going to wrap around, and that's going to help me tie it up on the side. So I'm now going to add some tear and tape on the back as well. This card is really fun, really fun to make. That's why they call them fun folds, right? Now I'm going to put this flap on the front. So I'm going to add some tear and tape right along the edge where the crease is. I'm going to do a couple strips. You don't want it to go past where this flap is, right? I think I can squeeze in a third actually. Okay, so I'm just going to turn it this way just to make it simple. I want this ribbon to be center here. So I'm kind of using that as my guideline, and I'm making this crease flush with this crease here. So I'm just making sure the ribbon is in the center so that when it comes through, it's going to be like that. So then this is going to open up like that. We're going to have that all decorated. And now we need to add another piece of ribbon so that we can tie this into a bow. So I've cut this piece at 12 inches. So what I'm going to do to line this up is I'm just going to fold my ribbon over, cut a piece of tear tape, and I can see that that's pretty much center. So that's going to be good. Then what I'm going to do, I'm not going to stick this ribbon right on top of that. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to lay this right on top of this ribbon, And it doesn't have to be flush at the end over here. But I'm going to lay this on top of that ribbon. Just like so. And then fold it down. And then pick it up. That way I know that this is going to perfectly line up with that other ribbon. So now I want to hide this ribbon. So I'm going to run this through my embossing folder. So I have my piece of Cajun Craze in another folder, but this folder is the scripty folder, so it's thicker. So all I'm doing is I'm not using any of the plastic plates. I'm just using the number 4 gray plate, lining it up and just cranking it in. It doesn't even feel like it's doing anything. It's so easy to turn this handle. And when I open it up, it's got that beautiful script on there. And you know what? I could leave this as it is, but I think I want to add a little bit of white just to kind of pick up those words a little bit. Bringing in my white craft pad, and I'm just bringing in a Stampin' sponge, and I'm just picking up just a tiny bit of that white ink, and it'll just nicely pull out those words. I'm going to bring this back, and this is going to go right on top of that ribbon. There's the flap done. Now it's time to do the last of the decorating. Okay, you remember this pattern that's in that 12 by 12 paper, the Gilded Autumn? Well, I'm going to use this on the front of my card. So in case you haven't realized, this is one of those cards I'm doing on the fly. So if you look at this, these are the instructions for using these plates. So it's your multi-purpose platform. You've got your 2 clear plates, and then this layer, number 2, is for using with thin dies. So you put this down first, and then your plates, my paper, just like normal, And I'm using my layering circle dies, and I'm going to use this one. This one measures, let's see, about not quite 2 3/4, because I'm going to put this on the front here, and I don't want to hide all that white. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay that down, put my plate on, and run it through. And this is going to get glued right on here. It's almost a sin to cover up this beautiful pattern. All the patterns are gorgeous. So that's going to go right on the center. I'm really happy with how this is turning out. I have a plan. So I have some Scrap Whisper white cardstock left over from some other projects. This is why I have such a hard time throwing any of these pieces away, because they come in handy. And now I'm going to pull in the beautiful autumn stamp set. Also part of the whole Gilded Autumn Suite. The colors I'm going to be stamping in are Crumb Cake, Early Espresso, Mint Macaron, and Cajun Craze. I haven't even used this. This whole bundle just came in. And oh, let's not forget, not only is this bundle absolutely spectacular, but it comes with coordinating punches for all the little leaf stamps in here. Oh my gosh, I knew I had to get it. I'm such a sucker for anything to do with leaves. Can't wait to use this in my scrapbooks and some home decor. So much fun. This is also a 2-step stamp set, which I love 2-step stamp sets. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my maple leaf. And my maple leaf is going to get stamped with the Mint Macaron. So I know when I punch these out, I need my stem to go down so it all lines up perfectly. So I'm going to keep that in mind when I'm stamping. So I'm going to stamp a few of these. We'll do 5. If I need more, I can come back and do more. And then I'm going to go in with the solid leaf image. I'm going to bring in a post-it note because I want to stamp off. I don't want this to be full strength. And then I'm just going to line it up And then that colors it in, and then you've got that dark outline on top. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I have stamped my leaves. I did them in early espresso, and then my acorns I stamped in the crumb cake. And for the top portion of the acorn, we've got two for the two-step stamping. So this one I stamped off with the crumb cake and then stamped it down. For this one, I brought in soft suede because I wanted it to be just slightly darker. So I stamped off and then stamped on, and then I will punch those out. Now these ones, we don't have a punch, so I will be fussy cutting those out. So I am building a wreath with these pieces. So I'm going to start with my acorn, and I may not need all of the pieces, but I thought better to cut them and have them than not. So I'm going to start with 2 acorns, and I'm just using my glue dots just because it's so much faster. I'm just going to put my acorns on like that. So I'm just going to fill in all the way around, and then some of the top leaves I'm going to use dimensionals. So I'm going to speed this a little bit up. So there's my finished wreath. I did rearrange the acorns at the bottom. Okay, so I have brought in some of our brushed metallic cardstock. This is in the copper. So I want to emboss Have a Beautiful Day. So I have taken my embossing buddy. Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell those anymore, but I did take one and lightly dab the top so that I don't get embossing powder where I don't want it. And then take my white perfect. So I'm going to heat that and then cut that out. Okay, so I'm just trimming this out. I'm using my scissors because I want this to be pretty narrow, so I'm just doing my best to keep a straight line. And now I'm going to flag each end. So I'm just going to go up the center and then from the corner to the center and the corner to the center. And that flags it. Really, really pretty. And this is going to go right on top like that. And now I'm going to add something super fun. In the suite, we have little acorn trinkets. So I thought that would be adorable to put one of these on my aunt's card. They are gorgeous. So I'm just bringing in some linen thread and I'm folding it in half. I'm going to put those ends right through like so. I'm just going to tie a bow. So I can actually go ahead and cut that. So of course I'm making this particular card a little bit more elaborate, but that's because it is my aunt's 70th birthday, but at the same time I get to show you all kinds of fun new product from our mini catalog. And that's going to go on just right there. Cute. I'm so pleased with that. I'm going to tuck a little glue dot underneath as well because I don't want that bow coming undone. And I will put this in a little padded envelope to mail to my aunt because of course with that trinket it's not going to go through the little magic nail slot. But sometimes these special cards are worth the extra postage. So the last thing I'm going to do is add the inside panels. I have finished my aunt's 70th birthday card using the Gilded Autumn Suite, which I am loving. Lots going on this card, and now that I've got it tied, I'm going to unopen it. So you have, it's your day, enjoy it. So have a beautiful day because it's your day. Enjoy it. And then when I open it up, wishing you the happiest of birthdays. My heart is grateful for you. 70 hugs and kisses. So the hugs and kisses are from the Make a Difference stamp set. And I used our alphabet dies with the copper foil so that I could get that little bit of 70 flash in there. So there you go. Very, very fun card fold. I did jazz this up because of course it being a very special birthday card, but you can make this as simple or as fancy pantsy as you want, but it is a really easy card fold. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button and the little bell next to it so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And if you enjoyed today's video and you were inspired by it, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. That would be awesome. Thank you for watching. Have a great day and happy stamping.